G'day. Just gonna go for a short drive, and thought I'd just give an update on my books. That's about it. It's going to be a short one, so I haven't done much. It's been a bit difficult to sit down and write at the moment. I've got a few things on. Yeah, so the Paramount rewrite is the main project I'm working on. And I'm happy with what what I've written so far. Just gotta sort of, I don't really want to introduce anything too full on, if you know what I mean, so that I need to then change things later on in the story. So I don't want to do that. I just want the start to be cleaner and still make sense with what goes on in the town and the world and worlders and whatnot. Yeah, so I mean the main thing is the armourer's shop that I'm focusing on instead of the fruit shop, and you know, having the scene inside the actual armourer. And there's like items that are on display, and you know, there'd be like one that's got this one, sort of thing. I don't want it to be too big a thing though, because it's not like I want someone to get that item in the story. Do you know what I mean? Like, not in Paramount, not in Atlanta. Say, if you know what I mean? Like, ideally there'd be this item in the middle of the store and it's like, wow, I can't believe they've got this item, and you know, if only I could afford it, I'd get it, sort of thing. But I don't know. I think it's been done, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a little cliche, you know, it's a little bit too overdone, I think, something like that. I mean, it'd be cool. But I don't want the story to things that may seem copied from other stories in that way. It's just too obvious. I don't want that. I want it to be its own sort of thing as much as possible. Yeah, so I'm not too sure. I was thinking, I wrote it in, just in a draft, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to take it out. I mean, it's not essential or anything, and I don't think that would add to anything. I want it more a thing where, because Tobias has got his own new arm piece that he just picked up in the morning in his first gathering, and he's wearing it and stuff. And I was thinking maybe he should, go into the shop and accidentally break shit wearing his new item, and not knowing that it's giving him more sort of strength in a way. But then the shop's outside the grounds and he's not bonded, so that doesn't fit in with the universe of what's going on. Sucks. Then I thought maybe the shop could be like on the back of the wall to Paramount's grounds, so maybe it is covered a bit by the, that area allowing mana to be used, which would be sort of a cop-out type thing, because it's just convenient to do that. So maybe I'll do it more of a Tobias blunder type thing, that causes him to knock down a whole heap of shelves or something like that. Because initially I wanted him to open the door and it just fling in real fast because of his extra strength, and it hits the shelves and crashes and makes things fall, and the armor comes out, and he's like, what the fuck? And that means that Tobias sort of has to fix up the account, and his father's, who you don't know who his father is going to be like, looking down on him or whatever, angry and that, like he always is. And while he's fixing up that, then Arthur goes outside, and that's when Arthur gets waylaid by Zane, and Tobias isn't there. And until like Alex comes, and Tobias is going to go out of the store, and he's looking through the window of the door, sees what's going on, and just he's just watching and that, possibly. Or he can walk out maybe and just hide behind a balcony or something. Because I think it'd be good for Alex to see him, and not, and sort of twig later that Tobias was that guy that didn't step in, whereas he's the sort of person that does step in and help. yeah, so that's what it was initially. I was thinking of doing to have it a bit more wilderish instead of a fruit shop line type thing. So maybe Tobias and Arthur go in and then they're commenting on his piece or something, and you know, he's showing it off and he hits something and it just has a cascade effect and things, you know, blundering along and causes damage to all these items. The armor is pissed off about it. That's sort of, you know, I mean, the bottle later of water that drains down to find the hidden trapdoor down into the actual dungeon past the locked door. You know, maybe Tobias is a bit more clumsy. Maybe I need to write he's in a bit clumsy about stuff. Possibly. Something like that. So yeah, that's what I've been, you know, sort of thinking on. I mean, I wrote it and I've been, you know, I've got other things on, but just been thinking about how that would fit in and that, and I just don't like the cop out of the store being able to do that. I mean, he's not bonded, and that was the breaker. I don't want it to be confused that someone was in the city, like in the town area outside of Paramount, and could use this a wielder item from the dungeon while not bonded in that area. I just think I'd keep it simple instead of, you know. So I think I'll better change that, to be honest, and get rid of the. It was like going to be like a chess piece that was going to be like a Smith one from the, you know, the anvil, and where the master smiths sort of are. But then why wouldn't someone use that later? You know? So yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe that can be something that comes into hype. You know, because there's things going on in Paramount during Heighten. Yeah, maybe, because I want some Smiths to repair the Paramount dungeon portal and that, and a different device so that more people can sort of go into the dungeon. I've got to think about that. Because as people get more powerful, they're going to be able to spend a lot more time in the dungeon, and so there wouldn't be enough time in a day for everyone to be able to have a turn, and they'd just be sitting around at the bloody portal all day. So that's shit. I don't want that. I think I might just write it in that the yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they don't need the portal thing and they won't do the scoreboard and that anymore, and they just leave it as a portal, which is what it was originally before the Smiths created the portal gate to let people go in it one at a time and keep track of everything. But maybe just have it as a free-for-all, and then yeah, but that sort of doesn't work with the key bearers and needing to get into the world. Yeah. Unless the portal gate was sort of like a link thing, so you could go in there with 5 people, even though that it wasn't linked together as a team. Otherwise, if you enter by yourself, without it going through the portal gate, you're just in the dungeon by yourself, and everyone else is doing whatever. Maybe. And if people want to use the portal gate, they can, like kids, if they want to do it that way. But they'd have to wait for the people to come out, sort of thing. Maybe. I don't want it to get too complex. Yeah. Because I mean, once they're powerful enough, I will be having people go to the world tree and be able to get their own linking relic, and then they can go in the dungeon in teams. I want Zane to, Zane's got his mountain relic, so he's sort of above a lot of people in power now because of that bonus. Alex needed to get a red aura stone to be able to see the world tree. So but he didn't, he did have some blue aura stones. And he hasn't picked up any, he didn't pick up any like more advanced equipment in Elanima, except for a boots with a socket. He got the soul thing from Elanima dungeon, but otherwise it was just the boots he got, and they got him in the Paramount dungeon. So maybe Zane finds a pair of those boots, gives him enough power extra to be sort of on par with a red one, because there's no red ones dropping in the pink moon realm. It's all gonna be blue at the most. Yeah. Anyway, it wasn't going to be a long video. Sorry. Once you get it going, and it's a great thing about writing. I think it's what I enjoy the most. It's like the world opens up in a way, like you've created something, and then it can just spread. It can just go anywhere your mind wants it to go, and it's great. It's just how the imagination is limited. This is the only thing holding you back. Anyway, it's beyond, because the good thing about doing these videos is that I can go back and oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, or that's that idea I had, and I can write it down and expand on it, try and remember what I was sort of getting at. And sometimes when you're out and about and you're thinking about your book, and then you're like, oh yeah, that could fit in nicely in that, and then you're trying to think of what it was again, and just can't remember exactly. Usually when you start, when you have like the broader sort of plot, what's going to happen in each sort of chapter or whatever, down, and you're sort of just thinking about it all, and you've written a little bit about the chapter as like a summary, and then you want to expand on it. And when you're thinking about that summary and you're out and about, when you sit back down to write, I think you do normally recall most things that you're trying to pop in there, but it's when you're trying to think of like the bigger picture type things, the development type things, is when it's like, yeah, there was something that I was going to put in there, and I forgot what it was. That's what I find anyway, unless you've written it down. Yeah, but I've just got to be a bit more like I didn't rush to get these out, but I just wanted to release the books, the story, and then just got the story out, and that's my goal. Pardon me. But another writer might be like, I don't care if it takes me 3 years, I'm gonna write the story and I'm gonna make it, refine it and edit it and refine it and edit it, and get professional editors and an agent and publisher, or self-publish it after 3 years or whatever. Depends on what your goal is. If you just want to release a book, you can always republish it. It's unless you're going to spend a lot of money on advertising and all that sort of stuff, it's just going to be sitting online somewhere, like on Amazon, and no one will find the book. it's just going to be sitting there. But at least, you know, you can order a print of the book and have it in your hand and go, oh, I did do it. Whether or not the quality of it is enough for you to shout it to all your family and friends, you know, depends on what you think of your own writing, or if you've had any feedback from, you know, someone that you don't mind hearing negative comments about something you've written. To go, yeah, your book's good, and then you go, okay, well, if you really think it's good, I'll tell my family. It's sort of where I'm at the moment. I've sort of said to the family that I've written a couple of books, but, you know, sort of waved it off, I suppose, in a way, that it's just something I wanted to do, just to say that I've done it. They haven't gone looking for it or asking about it or anything like that. But, you know, that's just my family, you know, we're not that in each other's pockets. You know, quite, you know, isolated in a way, which is normal for how I grew up. But other people, obviously, if you're in a, you know, family that gets together every weekend, or, you know, does stuff together, and I don't know, all those things that, you know, my family only does once or twice a year or something. I don't know. Then yeah, maybe there'd be, you know, encouragement and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Most of the time, you know, when you self-publish, it probably is just your family and friends that are grabbing a copy of the books and that, and letting you know about things. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, it's not the goal for me. The goal for me was for me to write a story, you know, and then it's there. I'm working on it. I can work on it for however long I want until I'm, you know, happy with that. And then when I'm really happy with it, then I'll start telling everyone to get it, that I know. You know, because I want to be proud of what I've put out. That it's at that level. You know, I'm proud of what I've put out already. I could never thought that I was going to be able to write. I mean, both books, short stories, I don't know, what is there? It's probably 220,000 words or something like that in a story, and it's edited and, you know, gone through a lot, and yeah, it's a big achievement for me, and I'm happy with it. But I know that as a you know, I'm not that happy with it to go shouting it to the moon and getting agents involved and all that sort of stuff. You know, I'm not that great at writing that, you know, that I feel like I can get further without having it professionally edited and you know, someone else's opinion on it. You know, what could be better, what grates on them, or what's missing, you know. that maybe I'm filling in the blanks of, because the story's in my head, sort of thing, and it makes sense to me. You know, is the book's, you know, exciting and interesting to me, whether or not people think it's fun or, you know, boring, or just whatever. I don't, you know, all those things that are wake up call, and you know, you might need to put in a few more things in there to connect better with people. You know, they're those sort of things that I think an editor sort of helps with, or just getting someone to give you honest opinions about what they think of the book. Even that would help, because then you just take that and go, okay, well, yes, you know, this is missing, and you know, the reason why it's missing is maybe I don't have enough skill doing that, or I don't know how to do that properly, or what I've done is confusing or wordy or just not clear in you know, whatever. Maybe who knows. But, sorry, this is going on a bit of a tangent here again. But anyway, I'm working still on Paramount. I think I need to start setting like a target, setting myself little targets to get back into it. You know, the little amount of time I can spend on it. Realistic targets, just to sort of chip away at it, so it doesn't just sit there. You know, I think that's probably the best thing to do at this point now. And who knows, maybe I'll have a free day and I'll sit down and write, and it'll just all come to me, and it will all just flow, and you know, there'll be sunshine and rainbows, and everything will be amazing in the world of writing for that day, you know, maybe. But if not, then maybe that day, you know, as long as I can get done this minimum amount of stuff, that would be good. And then hopefully I can think about that and what I'm going to do next in between, and do it that way. Yeah, okay, well, thanks for listening again, and I'll hopefully come back on with more of an update of what I've been doing. Otherwise, you know, maybe if I'm having to go for a drive somewhere, I'll talk about something else that might be, you know, not my books per se, but just, you know, yeah, something else that's interesting. Okay, all right, catch ya.